Hey you guys, it's me Madeline, and again I'm in my car. Don't look at how I look right now. I didn't do my eyebrows, I didn't do my makeup, that's for sure. I didn't do my hair. I'm going home right now, so I don't really care what I look like, but I wanted to film this video, so just ignore that. I'm pretty sure like half of my videos I say that, but honestly just ignore that because I don't have my sunglasses. I do have sunglasses. Maybe that'll make me look cooler and look better. I'm gonna put sunglasses on. When you don't have makeup on, put sunglasses on. Boom. Okay, now I just feel so weird. You know what? We're just gonna act like I really don't care. Hey you guys, it's me Madeline, and today we are going to be talking about a serious topic. About 2 days ago, a really big eye-opener happened in the social media community, especially in the community that I am a part of. A girl by the name of Hannah Stone passed away, and from what the internet got out of it was that she had committed suicide. I'm not entirely too sure where they got this from because I haven't seen personally the family or close friends say that, but apparently that's what happened. And a bunch of people are saying that she was struggling with depression, and that's kind of why I wanted to make a video and talk about my personal experience with my depression. Because as some of you may know and some of you may not know, I struggle hardcore with depression. At least I used to. A year ago actually, in January is when I finally got help. So I just kind of wanted to talk about it and bring awareness to depression because it is a real thing. I mean, obviously I struggle with it, so I understand it. I just know there's some people out there who don't. What is this person doing? Are you going or no? What? That was not okay, whatever. Anyway, I know there's some people out there who don't believe in it, especially like older folks. I just don't use the word folks. Anyway, I want you guys to realize that if you are struggling with depression, that it is okay, it is normal, especially in kids our age, in the high school range and college, even middle school now. It's starting to travel lower and lower and lower and higher. I'm not trying to exclude anybody, but I just wanted to talk about my experience with it and just bring kind of awareness to it. I'm not really going to be talking much about like what depression is and everything. I'm just going to be talking about my type of depression because there's several types of depression out there. There's mild cases, there's severe cases. It just kind of depends. So basically, this all started, I guess 2 years ago now. There for a while, I was traveling a lot for social media, and that took a major toll on me. I hated leaving my family. I love my parents. I hated leaving my home. I hated leaving my room. Like, I am such a family person and a person to myself, and traveling and going on a tour was not something that I saw myself doing, and I kind of pushed myself to do it because it was a fun experience. Well, I thought. So basically, I was traveling every weekend basically throughout my senior year of high school, and I was traveling even throughout my entire summer. It was stressful. More than anything, it was stressful. I would leave Fridays, I would get home from school, leave directly from school to the airport, go to the airport, go to said place. I'm just going to use Boston. I'm just going to use Boston as an example. So I would leave on Friday, fly to Boston, and then I would have a show or a meet and greet all day Saturday till about 5 p.m. Then I would go back to my room, have time to recuperate, and I would take a nap during that time and go live because at this time also had the stress on top of going live every single day. Anyway, so it wasn't like a show, it was a meet and greet of me standing up 4 hours straight, and then other people had like parts in the show, but I have no talent, so I didn't do anything. So anyway, blah, blah. I would come back to my room, and then we would have a thing called URL, which is Up Real Late, and it was basically just another hangout to hang out with our supporters. So that was all day Saturday, and then we would fly out early Sunday. eventually, once I was in college, and during the summer, we would fly out on Thursdays and have like kind of one day to leisure around and have fun. But even that was not fun because we were traveling Thursday. Or no, wait, yeah. We'd leave Thursday and then have all day Friday to kind of like go around and whatever, explore the cities that we went to. But even that was tiring because I was already tired from traveling all day the day before. And we would have like flights like either early in the morning or late at night, so then we would not have any time, or we would have layovers, which was freaking garbage. Oh God, I do not miss that at all. And I know a lot of people are probably like, what? That was such a cool experience. You got to travel every weekend. I know I sound selfish, but I personally did not like it. I didn't really have any friends on the tour that I was there with. Obviously my brother, but he liked going because he got to see all of his friends. And obviously I like to go to see my supporters, but it sucked because I had to watch my supporters pay money to meet me, which made me feel horrible because I am not worth what they were paying. That's the thing. I would rather go to the mall and meet you for free, like, you know? And that just really added to it of me feeling bad. I'm basically telling you this part is because this is what really started the depression and really kicked in. So first off, I was really stressed out because I was a senior in high school. I didn't know what I was going to do for college. I still wanted to do this tour, but I also had to leave every single weekend. I had no time to hang out with my friends in my town. I literally was like a lone wolf my senior year, which is fine, but I definitely did lose some of my closest friends. Not lose, but I kind of like distanced myself because I had to, because I couldn't hang out with them every weekend, or I couldn't do this, you know? So I basically was just stressed out with school, stressed out with this tour, just everything was coming down on me at once. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my future because I don't want to do social media forever, hence why I'm in college right now. So yes, this tour was just a main part into making me depressed. And I hated the fact that my supporters had to pay money to meet me. And not to mention, I didn't get paid for this tour. Let that sink in. A year and a half of my life, I am taking out of my weekends to go to these places, to stand up for 4 hours, and I didn't get paid anything. I mean, I would have occasionally get paid for the merch that I made, but even that, I think I still got screwed over. Which obviously money is not a big issue, and I don't care because I was getting to travel and I can say I went to this place and went to this place. But that just really irritated me that some people on the tour were getting paid and then others were not. And I couldn't just stop because I had supporters constantly buying tickets to go to these places and I wasn't seeing any of the money. Whatever. That's a whole nother hoopla. Okay, moving on. It's been about a year, and I had this boyfriend at the time, now ex-boyfriend obviously, and he kind of knew I would be this happy person on the internet, and I love going to this tour, I love doing this, blah, 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 blah. In reality, every single night I was crying myself to sleep. And not to mention the constant headaches throughout the entire day of me trying to pretend that I'm this happy person and not cry. It was just so bad. So my boyfriend at the time kind of knew. I would tell him like I'm really sad, blah, blah. And I felt bad that I put that on him because he didn't know how to make me happy. And he would try so hard and he just didn't know how to help me. And he would tell me, tell your mom, go get help. And I was like, nah, I don't need help. Like, I don't need help. I never really, thought, oh, I have depression. Because I had never really heard of people having depression, especially on the internet, because nobody talks about it. So anyway, fast forward, so about December, the day after Christmas, I got broken up with. I'm still salty, okay? I spent so much money. Oh my God. And it was so unexpected and out of the blue. I had just been over at his house. I had just spent all this money on his family, blah, blah, blah. So that really sent me into depression. And I was just thinking oh, I'm not good enough, blah, 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 whatever. Moving on to January, we'd been broken up for however long, and I was at this tour, and coincidentally, he was on the tour too. So it was just really upsetting that I was going there and not gonna get to see him and all this stuff because I was still in love with him. So anyway, I was there and I was just really upset in my room because I didn't want to leave because I didn't want to see him, and I was just really upset because we normally were together all the time and blah blah blah. And I was just in my room crying, writing in my journal, like it was so bad. And I finally texted my mom, I need help. And she thought that maybe it was because of the breakup, why it was so sad. And I was like, Mom, this has been a year thing. I've been crying every single night for about a year. Like, she never saw it coming. She never saw signs because I was that good at pretending, especially on broadcast and on my Twitter. Like, occasionally, yeah, you get sad, whatever, but I never really showed the signs. And that's what can hurt a person, is not showing signs or not telling someone. And that's why I'm here, to tell you guys this. So I'm just going to talk about what I went through during my depression and why I realized, yes, you need to get help. Let me just start off with saying that I could never personally kill myself. I don't even know where I would even begin. And I wouldn't want to put that on my family. I have to be careful with my word choice because of obviously what just recently happened, and I don't want to offend anybody. But I personally knew in my heart that I would not kill myself, and that's why I didn't tell anyone, was because I knew I wouldn't. But with that being said, I would always think about death. I would always think about how easy life would be if I was gone. I would think about what the world would be like if I was gone. I would, in my car, hope that I would get in a car crash. Those thoughts don't cross my mind anymore. I'm in a car right now, so I feel like I have to say that. But I would hope that I would get in a car crash. It got so bad to a point where I was in my car praying to God, bawling my eyes out to take my life right then and there. And I wanted it to look like an accident because I didn't want my family to think, oh, we didn't help her. So I would hope that I would die in a car crash or a freak accident or something, because it would be an accident. Again, it got so bad to the point where I was praying to God to kill me, just to take my life so I could be with him. And yeah, I needed help. So I still remember every single night praying to God, like, please take me soon, please take me soon. My mom doesn't know this certain extent, so Mom, I'm sorry if I'm breaking your heart right now. But I am so grateful that you believed me and that you made that appointment. I love you, Dad, so much. But basically, that's how bad it got. And my mom still to this day will ask me every now and then, like, are you okay? Are you okay? Like, blah, blah, blah. Like, you know, like, are you okay? Especially with what happened with Hannah. She just can't believe it because I never showed any signs, and from what it seems like, Hannah never showed any signs. And a bunch of you guys watching this right now are probably not showing signs, but you need to. You need to tell someone. Please tell someone. I don't want this to keep happening because of depression. When you can get help, when you can get medicine, when you can go to a therapist or psychiatrist, it is normal and it is okay. I believe you. There's gonna be someone out there who believes you. Doctors believe you. It's a thing. It is a thing and it is real. Another thing that would add to my depression was that I would think, why am I sad? I have amazing parents. I have an amazing family. At the time, I had an amazing boyfriend. I had all these supporters. I'm living this life that people would love to live. I have a roof over my head. I hadn't had any tragic events happen to me. Why am I sad? And that would make me even worse, because I would feel selfish. I would feel stupid for being sad because of my life. People would kill to have it. I don't have a hard life, and I'm going to be up front, like I don't. And it would just irritate me, because I would be sad whenever I had the greatest life. Not greatest, but you know what I'm saying. Like, I have the ideal life. I'm comfortable. I'm not going to get into it because it doesn't sound like I'm bragging, right? I don't know. I'm just being honest with how I was feeling inside my head, because it would make me even worse, because I would get so mad at myself. Why are you sad? Why are you sad? Why are you sad? And then I would get even more sad because I didn't know why I was sad. This is such an emotional video, okay? That also added on to my depression and feeling bad, because why am I feeling bad, you know? I hope you guys kind of understand what I'm trying to say. I'm going to just talk about, since Hannah was a social influencer, I'm also going to add like a little tribute to her, because she's the main reason why I'm kind of making this video. I was going to make this video. I had asked you guys on a Twitter poll a while ago what kind of topics you want me to talk about, and a lot of you guys had said depression. So I was going to talk about my experience, and obviously I'm very open about it on my broadcast. I'm definitely talking more in depth on this video, and I'm just going to leave this video long because I feel like people who want to watch it will watch it. I just want to talk about how like social media is a major part in depression, and I'm not saying that if you're not a social media influencer you don't have depression, because normal kids do. Well, social media kids are normal, but we definitely add our I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Okay, so there's a difference between a social media kid and a kid in high school. So when you're in high school, obviously depression is very rapid, because you don't know what college you want to go to. You have this test, you have all this stuff to do, you have friends to keep up with, there's bullies, there's that social status that you want, popularity, you know. You've been in high school, or you're in high school, or you're going to be in high school. You're just open to this huge community of judgment. And when you're a social media kid, you open yourself up to multiple high schools. You open yourself up to the entire world. You open yourself up to this judgment of everybody and people that don't even know you. And you want to be liked, obviously. In high school, you want to be liked too, you know? And you can say you don't care what people think, but deep down, you care what people think. I say I don't care what people think, but deep down, I care what people think. But being a social media influencer, you have to put off this image of being happy, because who's going to want to follow this sad, depressed girl, you know, or a guy? You have to put off this look of being happy, or this luxury life. You know what I'm talking about, because who's going to want to follow somebody who's sad all the time? I mean, there might be some people out there who like that. It takes a toll on us social media kids, because we're pretending like we're this happy person when in reality we're not. And what would make me sad was that I was lying to my supporters. I was pretending like I was happy when I was actually so sad. And I just feel like that's why social media kids, you don't see it coming, is because of we hide it because we don't want to lose supporters. And that's another thing, is when you get... Alright, sorry, my mom just called me. I don't really remember what I was talking about. I think I was talking about like social media kids and how... Oh yeah, losing followers. Okay, so when you look at your numbers, you get like a high, especially whenever you're kind of higher up, I guess, or you have followers. And it takes a toll on you when you start seeing those numbers drop or not going anywhere. Especially for me, I used to be a top girl broadcaster I knew now, And then all of a sudden I started losing viewers and my numbers on Twitter started to go down. I just started to fail on social media, and it was devastating to me just because I wanted what other people had too. And I know you shouldn't care about the numbers and you shouldn't care about the number of supporters that you have, but we do. I try and say that I don't, but you do. And so with being a social media kid, you have that added on to it. When you're just a regular high schooler or just a regular college student, like the numbers and supporters, I mean, I guess you don't really have supporters if you have friends. The number of people following you is not a big issue to you. I mean, it's cool to get, 100 likes, but being a social media kid, you're comparing your numbers to everybody else, and it just sucks seeing other people succeed when you're not, which is normal for a social media kid to take a break, and breaks are good, especially if you're a social media person. I don't know if I doubt they're going to be watching this, but breaks are fine. I personally felt like I couldn't take a break because I didn't want to lose my activity of followers, and I kind of wish I would have. Once I kind of told my supporters, hey, I went to the doctor, I have depression, I'm taking medication now, I kind of slowed down on social media, especially now that I'm in college. It's not my main priority anymore. It still is, obviously. I post videos all the time, I still tweet, I still post on Instagram, even though my main got hacked, so make sure to follow my new Instagram, another Matt's. I'm still so mad I got hacked on Instagram. Anyway, so it's not really my main priority, but it is still a priority of mine. From what my mom has said was I had been sad for an entire year. My mom didn't see any signs, and that's personally my mom. Like, she did not see anything because people are really good at hiding it, and I guess that's what Hannah did. I was never a close friend of hers. I mean, like 3 years ago, we were top female broadcasters on this app called YouNow, and so I would pop into her broadcast, and I just remember her always singing because that's what she did. She was an amazing singer, and she would sing me this song called I Think I Want to Marry You by Bruno Mars, and we kind of made it into like this joke that we were wives and that we were lesbian together, and we would go into each other's broadcasts and be like, hi wifey, like, just like little jokes like that. But I had never personally hung out with her or talked to her one-on-one, so that's just like kind of how I knew Hannah, and that's why it's kind of taken a toll on me, because like, what if I would have reached out further, and what if I had talked to her more rather than just popping into her broadcast? Like, maybe I could have helped. I don't know, it's just hard not to put the blame on yourself whenever you knew her. I can't even imagine how other people are feeling. I'm not 110% positive where people even got that she lost her battle to depression, but her brother did send in like a little post thing talking about how she didn't leave a note and she's just gone, and so that kind of indicates it but doesn't. I just felt like people that day were just being insensitive, and kind of like what he was saying was that he doesn't want to be constantly reminded of it. It's sweet to show your love for her by posting videos and tweets about her, but he doesn't want to see it, which I understand because you're just going to be constantly reminded. But I just felt like people were being insensitive and just trying to get favorites and retweets that day. That's why I didn't really post anything, just because I personally did not know her very well to even feel like it's my place to post anything. I did retweet tweets about her, but that's basically about it. I just didn't want people to think that I was trying to get favorites and retweets out of it, because if you look at a bunch of those tweets, it was just making me sick at the people who were pretending. At least I feel like they were. I shouldn't be judging people by wanting to spread awareness and whatnot, but it just felt like people were being insensitive. Alright, so this video wasn't supposed to be necessarily about Hannah, but it definitely did trigger me into thinking I need to make this video as soon as possible, because there's kids out there, there's people out there, you're probably watching this right now struggling with depression on the low. Don't make it on the low. Bring it up. Tell someone that you trust. If you're old enough, go to the doctor yourself. People don't even have to know. Well, okay, that was a lie. People do have to know. But what I'm taking my medicine for is that levels in my, I forgot what it's called. This is probably really bad. What she was telling me was her hormones. There we go. What my doctor was telling me was that my hormones were off and that the medicine that I'm taking would help balance out those hormones. And that's, depression can come off of that, is that when your hormones are imbalanced. And so the medicine that I'm taking helps balance out my hormones. I'm not going to really explain more because I'm not very sure what I'm talking about. I don't want to give not the right information out there, but it's something about your hormones, and if you really want to, you can look up articles about depression and figure out what exactly like the medicine helps you with. But my medicine has fortunately helped me a lot. It really has. And I'm so open about taking my medicine, like on broadcast, obviously, like I was saying earlier, that I'll talk about me taking medicine. Like, I'm not ashamed of it because it's not something to be ashamed of. I know a bunch of social media people who are not open about having depression, but they have depression. It's just so sad. And I had a friend of mine who was majorly struggling with depression even before I knew them. And I was like, yep, that sounds like depression. I was like, please tell somebody. Please tell your mom, your dad, whoever. And they said something to me one night that really broke my heart. And I'm not saying that they could have been capable of harming themselves, but in the moment, I wasn't taking chances. So when they said it to me, the very next day I texted their mom and I said, hey, can I stop by? Don't worry. Like, I was like trying to tell them like it's not that big of a deal, like don't worry. I mean, it kind of was, but I didn't want to freak them out even more because I was going over there without the friend being there. Like, that's kind of weird, you know? It must have been something important. So I just told them like don't worry, and I went over there and basically sat down with them on the couch and told them that I'm worried about their kid. And I knew this person wasn't going to tell their parents because it had already been a year of them struggling, and they wouldn't. And they would say, oh, I'm going to tell them tomorrow. Oh, I'm going to tell them tomorrow. Oh, I'm going to tell them tomorrow. I forgot today. I'll tell them tomorrow. It was like that kind of thing, and I knew that they were never going to tell them if I didn't. And I didn't want to break this mom's heart, but I also didn't want her heart to be broken if something did happen, you know? So basically I just told them, maybe you should talk to them. I told them that I didn't want this person to know that I had come over, and now they know. Like months after, I told them that, hey, I went over there, and because I felt bad for keeping it a secret. I just told the parents to maybe initiate the conversation, be like, we've noticed that you've been down lately, or something, you know, just to get the conversation started, because I knew deep down that they were never going to tell them, and I didn't want anything to happen. Eventually my friend did talk to their parents, and the parents were so open to it. And the reason why I went over there was because you don't know who doesn't believe in depression. I don't mean to throw my dad under the bus, but from what I kind of understand from what he talks about, I don't think he believes in it. And I don't even know if he knows that I struggle with it, to be honest. Because I only told my mom, and she's the one that helped me. And my dad doesn't watch my YouTube video, or he watches my YouTube videos every now and then, but he doesn't watch, he's not like a social media person. He doesn't even know what a Twitter is. I don't even think he really knows. But I know that if I would have told him I have depression, he probably would have been like, no, you're just sad. Like, you know, like, I don't mean to throw him under the bus, but I mean, I love him and he's an amazing dad. So don't think that my dad's horrible. It's just some people have different views on it. And so that's why I went over to my friend's house and was like, I don't know what your views are on it, but I just wanted to let you know that I struggle with it and it's real. I don't know what they're struggling with, because I was also thinking maybe panic attacks or depression. I'm not a freaking doctor. But I was just telling them, like, maybe just initiate the conversation, because they keep telling me that they're going to talk to you and they're not. So I kept in touch with the parent, obviously, and a couple days later, we're trying to get them to tell them, and they would just be like, oh no, I'm just tired. And they're like, are you sure? Like, whatever. And so then I was talking to my friend, and I was like, please just go. I was like, go. Like, what's the worst they're gonna say to you? I was like, literally, what are they gonna say to you? I was like, you don't even have to go into details. Like, you can wait to go into detail to tell your doctor. Like, I was like, all you have to tell them is, please set me up an appointment, or just know that I am not mentally, like, okay, and I don't know what's going on. Like, and that's all you have to do. If you're afraid of breaking your mom's heart, do what I did. I texted my mom. Obviously, I was in another state, so I texted her and just said, I need help. She didn't ask me questions. She said, I'll get you an appointment, because I said, I think I might have depression. She got me an appointment, and I waited to tell my doctor everything, because, I mean, I obviously know my doctor, but I don't know them, like, that personally, to where I wasn't, like, breaking her heart, you know? And you don't have to tell your mom everything. Right now, this is probably the first time my mom's hearing me talk about what was actually going through my head. I'm only being transparent and open because I want you guys to know it's okay. But if you're talking to a parent and you, or a guardian, or whoever is taking care of you, or your trusted person, don't feel like you have to tell them everything and break their heart. Just tell them, hey, I need help. Hopefully they take the initiative to take you to a doctor or help that you need. So if you know a friend that's struggling, I would just talk to the parents, or just be like, I don't want to break your heart, and I'm just really worried about your child. Just whatever. And if you know a friend that's struggling, just push them to get help. But there's also those who hide it very well, kind of like I was doing, and nobody knew except for my boyfriend at the time. But he was trying to push me to get help, and even that didn't really tell me to get help, you know. Just watch your friends closely, your brother, your sister, whoever. Watch them closely, and just, I guess, try and see what's actually going on. The happiest person ever can be the saddest of them all. I am now almost home, so I'm just gonna stop the video here. But I am just gonna leave here with like a little tribute to Hannah. I just want you guys to see this angel that heaven has gained, and her beautiful singing voice. So rest in peace, Hannah. And if you're struggling with depression, just know that you're not alone. There's definitely people out there, including myself. And please get the help that you need. I kind of want to start an email where you guys can personally email me if you need anything, because DMs are hard to check and whatnot. Not just a business email, but an email to contact me, to ask me questions, advice, or whatever. I might start that. So if I do it, this part will still be in the video. I will link down below an email that I have created where you guys can talk to me, because DMs are hard to respond to. This way it'll just be easier. It'll be in an email on my phone and I can check it. I'm sorry if this video is long. I know a lot of people love long videos, so I'm just gonna leave it. If you want to watch it, you would still be watching. If you're at the ending of the video, please do not forget to subscribe, and also make sure to follow my social medias. They will be linked down below. So I hope you guys are having a great day or night or whenever you're watching this, and I hope to see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.
Hi, my name is Hannah Stone, and this is my cover of Lost Boy by Ruth B. I hope you guys enjoy it. There was a time when I was alone, nowhere to go, no place to call home. My only friend was a man in the moon, and even sometimes he would go away too. Then one night as I closed my eyes, I saw a shadow flying by. He came to me with the sweetest smile, told me he wanted to talk for a while. He said, Peter Pan, that's what they call me. I promise that you'll never